Welcome to Basement Bar Talk. I'm Tyler Bennett.
I'm Blake Tiarino.
And what another good week we had. I think they're all going to be fun, but this was also fun as well.
It was fun. This is the week that I went 8-8, and Tyler went 10-6.
I made up a little ground. You're still one game ahead of me, though.
Yes. I think I'm gonna have to reclaim that ground this week. I'm gonna go, and I might pick some crazy ones. Yes, I will. But they're gonna win. I'm predicting right now. I am gonna go 12-4.
Wow, 12-4. Well, that means I have to go 13-3 if we get to tie it up.
Let's find out.
All right, let's get going.
All right. So first up, we have Thursday night's game. Remember, primetime games. We pick the scores. Although we will discuss, we haven't actually gone back and looked at the scores. But picking the scores, Houston at New England, go.
Want to start? All right. I have to pick. Last week I said something about I can't go against New England. I learned that lesson, but I'm going to do it again because Garoppolo is out. I don't know, and Gronk is still very doubtful. So I don't know if I can go with it. I don't know if Brissett's going to be the man to do it. But if he does do it, I'm going to say that, man, that system's great. If Brissett can even come out of this looking good, I'm going to say that this is a great system. My score will be 23-20.
Ooh, you put a close one in.
It will be close. New England will always be close, I think.
I'm going to have to, I'm going to completely go against you. I'm going New England Patriots, not because of the quarterbacks. I don't think it matters. I think this game will prove once and for all it's coaching. It's that coaching staff. It's Belichick. That's who's going to take them and put them at 3-0.
If they win and Brissett does great, I will just go on the record and say, just pick me for New England the rest of the year. I don't know, because this is a very losable game for them. But all right. Then Blake.
And this week we're using pink chalk.
Pink chalk. All right.
All right.
That's all we can find right now.
Yes. All right. And now.
Arizona at Buffalo, Blake.
I'm going to say this is a make or break game for Rex Ryan. This is a make or break game for Rex Ryan. I mean, you can feel the pressure there. It's burning. They fired their offensive coordinator already this year.
Yeah.
And they're going against the Cardinals. But I saw the Bills. They put together some good plays against the Jets. It wasn't enough. Their defense gave it up, and therefore, Cardinals all the way. Cardinals are going to take this one.
Yeah, I got to agree with that one because I picked Buffalo the first two games, and they've disappointed me, and they do not look to be the team that I was expecting them to be. Not that I had high expectations, but I thought they were going to be a little bit better than that. Losing to Baltimore, only getting 7 points, and then giving up 37 to the Jets. In Arizona, I give them Super Bowl. They're my Super Bowl pick, so I got to go with them in this one.
So, all right, Tyler. Next up, Denver at Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. I think the winning streak ends for Denver. This one, Cincinnati. They're good at home. It's a 1:00 game, like we always say. That Cincinnati's really good. And Denver, they might be a little overrated this year. I don't think So I'm going to say Cincinnati's going to get this one.
You know what? I don't think Denver's overrated, but this game here, being said, 1:00 at home, Andy Dalton, AJ Green, they're going to fire. The Denver Broncos are missing
Demaryius Thomas?
No.
Oh.
Where?
Oh, where? Okay.
They're missing where. Denver Broncos are missing where, and that right there, their defense is going to be a little shuffled. They're still got great defense, but I think that's just going to be just enough to where they'll make sure that they cover. Wow, what's his name? Miller. They're going to cover Miller a lot better. It's going to be Cincinnati winning.
All right, we agree on that one. So the next one, kind of a toss-up here. Both 0-2. Cleveland at Miami.
You know what? So far, it seems to be the year of the rookie quarterback. And I'm going to continue that year. Cleveland gets a win.
Oh, wow.
Cleveland's going to get a win.
He's going to get them a win, huh?
Yes, he's going to go out there and he's going to show them that he's worthy to be their starter for at least the next few weeks. I don't even know. It's Cleveland.
If he makes it out alive, I mean, they've injured a quarterback every week so far. So
that's true. Pryor might throw the ball and get that done. I mean, we don't know yet.
Shot, right? I'm disagreeing with you though. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with Miami. Miami has played great the first 2 games. This will be their first home game. They played on the road twice. Played Seattle great and came back on New England, made it a competitive game. I think their confidence is soaring right now. And I think Cleveland's a little distraught with that giving up the 20-2 game to Baltimore. I'm going to go with Miami.
All right. Next up, we have Detroit at Green Bay.
Green Bay. You know what? I'm going to go with Green Bay. I never go against Aaron Rodgers after he loses. He doesn't usually back-to-back loss. So I'm going to go with them. Detroit's looking much better this year, much better than I thought they were going to, but it is in Green Bay. Cheeseheads will be worn, and I will say Green Bay wins.
I will say this. Sam Bradford beat them handily.
When he was only on a roster for 15
days. That is all I need to say. Detroit Lions are going to take this one. It's a division game. They're going to go into Green Bay, and they're going to come out the victors, and people are going to begin questioning Aaron Rodgers in that offense.
Well, all right. Oakland at Tennessee. So it's very hard for me.
You know, I went with Oakland last week, and really I feel like they should have won. Their defense is a little, but they're playing Tennessee. They don't have the greatest offense. I'm going to continue. I'm going to pick Oakland. I'm going with Oakland on this one.
You know, actually, it's staggering to me how bad Oakland's defense is this first 2 weeks. I mean, they're giving up over 1,000 yards in 2 games, but their offense is really good. So if they can get any kind of clickage on defense, then things could start turning around dramatically, and hopefully they're aware of this now. I will say this could very well be a biased Raiders fan talking here. Maybe I'm just hoping that we don't go 1-2. But yes, I will go Oakland Raiders.
Nice. All right, now we got the Minnesota at Carolina.
Minnesota at Carolina. This is also a very tough game because I was very impressed with what Minnesota did. And Bradford looked great. I don't know if I can go against Carolina. I mean, Minnesota just lost Adrian Peterson, even though he's not been very effective this year. But it's still a weapon.
You got to take account for him in the backfield.
So I'm going to have to go with Carolina, maybe just squeaking by with just that fact alone.
I'm going to go with Carolina. Last week, we saw Calvin Benjamin come back with fury after missing all of last year. It's going to continue. He's going to just go out there, and they're going to rip apart Minnesota's defense and just brutally destroy them.
Nice. So I'm going to start. Washington at New York Giants.
Washington and New York Giants. Everybody's in panic mode in Washington, rightfully so. I'm a Cowboys fan. They should have won that game.
Yeah.
I'm also a Cowboy fan and think New York, we should have won New York. But I think New York's overrated, being 2-0. But Washington is that bad. I see New York going 3-0.
New York going 3-0. You know what? Honestly, I had that earlier, and I'm going to switch it to Washington. So, I mean, we're going to see if I regretted that. But the only reason why is because, you know, Eli Manning and the Giants just don't seem to always have... I can't remember them winning 3 straight games in a row. When's the last time they've done that? They're usually a back-and-forth team. So they're due a loss, and Washington knows they got to win. They should have won last week. So maybe that'll get them going. Giants are just, like they said, they're off and on. So I'm going to say that they're going to be off. Go Washington.
All right. Next up, we have Baltimore at Jacksonville.
Is that my start? That is
Yes,
my start.
that is your start.
You know, records would say Baltimore 2-0, Jacksonville 0-2, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I've gone with them every single week this season, and they've disappointed me, but I think it's finally due. They're at home, and hopefully, I mean, they played terrible last week against San Diego. I never expected that. Baltimore, I think, you know, they barely squeaked by Cleveland. They only beat the Bills by scoring 13 points. I think that record is a little bit misleading. Jacksonville's due a win. With all that money they spent on cap space, they got to win. They can't go 1-3.
You know what? I would love to agree with you, but I think Baltimore's riding the high that's not going to be squashed by the Jaguars. And I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens coming out and not just squeaking by this week. They're going to put a dominance on Jacksonville, and that conference is going to have to wake up. The Steelers and the Bengals are going to have to actually look at the Ravens as a threat. Again, the Cleveland Browns aren't a real team, so they don't have to even consider them, but they have to be on lookout for what Baltimore is trying to do and squash Pittsburgh's season.
All right. So I start you off, right? LA at Tampa Bay.
You know, both 1-1. I was riding the Winston chain until he just got destroyed last week. 4 picks. He goes 4 touchdowns and 4 picks. But you know what? LA's that bad. They have 9 points on the year, and I see them maybe adding 6 to that total. I'm going Tampa Bay all the
Is that
way.
a 6 with a blocked extra point or 2 field goals?
That's just 2 field goals.
Okay.
They
Still no
not-
touchdown.
Yeah, still no touchdown.
I would agree. LA, kudos to them for winning their first game in LA in 22 years, but it was a very ugly win. I'm not really sold on them just yet. I mean, they played good defense, but also what else is that also on Seattle? Tampa Bay, they did have a bad week, but they are at home, and they, like you said, they are playing a team that has not scored a touchdown yet. You usually can't go with that, so Tampa Bay.
All right. Now we're to San Francisco at Seattle.
And just as I was talking about Seattle, man, what is going on with them? 15 points in 2 games. This one was my last one on my list, on my paper list of matchups. I was trying to figure it out. This was the last one. I could not figure out which way to go. My brain says San Francisco. My gut says Seattle. Really, because San Francisco looks a lot better, and I don't know what's going on with Seattle and the fact that are they really missing Marshawn Lynch that much that they cannot move the ball?
No.
Their offense is terrible
Their
right now.
line is horrible.
Yeah,
That's all I say. Their line's bad.
Everything is just wrong, so I gotta go brain versus gut, and usually it's smarter to go with your brain. I'm gonna pick San Francisco to win in Seattle, which is not easy to do. That's why it was hard for me to pick a Seattle home loss, but I'm gonna go with San Francisco.
And you know, on that note, I was really leaning towards San Francisco, but I'm seeing the work that has been done by their quarterbacks. They're not. San Francisco's just not a good team. Seattle's a much better team on paper, and I think they're going to come out and they're going to show that this week. I'm going Seattle.
Yeah, it very well could be right on that one. All right, San Diego at Indianapolis.
You know, I'm just going to be honest. Indy's done. They're going 0-3. I don't even know if I can really get into it. I mean, San Diego has been taking about beating after beating, and I think they're still going to go out and they're going to show everybody they have not given up this season, and they're going to win this one.
You know, San Diego does have a lot of heart, but they've lost 2 key injuries, key players in both weeks, Woodhead and Keenan Allen. And I just can't believe that Andrew Luck is, you know, he might be overrated. You might be selling me on that, but it is in Indianapolis. If it was in San Diego, it might be a little different. I gotta say that Andrew Luck's win. I can't remember if he's ever been 0-3. And maybe if San Diego was healthy, I might give them a little more edge. But they're falling like flies, it seems like. So let's go with Indianapolis. And I hope, because I don't like the San Diego win.
On to NYJ at KC.
At KC, it's hard for me to say this, but I'm gonna say Kansas City. I think this will be a squeaker. New York Jets, they're looking much better, but it is at Arrowhead, and I hope I'm wrong, but gut says Kansas City.
Nah, I'm not. I gotta go with the Jets. After what I saw them do with Buffalo, tightly fought game. Yes, it was a division game, but I think they're gonna go into KC and they're just gonna continue that. They're gonna continue good play, really. I mean, if it weren't for those 2 give-ups, those 2 giant, which Alex Smith cannot do what Tyrod Taylor did. You're not going to see him drop back and do 60, 70-yard passes. That's not going to happen from KC. So therefore, I'm going to give it to New York Jets. We'll take that one.
New York, all right. So the next one would be Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. The Battle of Pennsylvania.
The Battle of Pennsylvania, and it's... All right, this is a really tight game. You've got Ben Roethlisberger, who arguably had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, he went 15-1.
I think he went 15 in the season. Oh yeah, they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah, they lost in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, again, he had a great team around him. It wasn't just him, but he had a great year. And then you have Carson Wentz, who has only won his first 2 games, but they haven't committed a single turnover. That's never happened.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be, I feel, as much as it can be, a just hard-fought game. Man, this is a tough one for me. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I feel they have better weapons. They're a much more balanced team. But I'm not going to be surprised if I end up losing this one. But I'm going Pittsburgh.
I'm going to agree with you. Wentz is doing much better than anybody had anticipated. But the fact does remain that there's still a question mark because he's played the Browns and he's played the Bears. So I mean, it's like this is going to be his real first true test of a defense that knows what they're doing. And if he does good, even if he throws 1 pick or something, that's still impressive. So if he holds himself, I will be more into Philadelphia next year. And he's still doing good, but Pittsburgh is really good, and this is going to be a little bit harder for him. So.
And now on to Sunday night, Chicago at Dallas. What's your take, Tyler?
Well, I mean, one thing I'll say is that, man, how does a team as terrible as the Bears get a Monday night and a Sunday night game back to back? I mean, let's get a good game for these night games, these primetime games. But I definitely gotta go with Dallas. I don't even think it's gonna be close. In the beginning, in our very first video, I said Chicago was a mess, more than what people thought, and I think it's showing right now. I'm gonna say that I don't know if Chicago has any fight in them. Because I think they're they might even want that first pick, because I think this is the end of the Jay Cutler era. They might want to draft a quarterback at that first overall pick. So I don't even know if they have any fight in them anyway. Dallas is going to win this one by a landslide. Let's go 31-7. I think they'll get off to a good start.
I think so too, but I will say this, continuing yours, they have Cutler signed until 2021. Because they just do. But we're going to see Hoyer playing in this game. Cutler's not even playing, as far as I know. Which is like, yes, he came out. Yes, he did great coming out off the bench. He's not a good starter. It's what I've seen. Dallas has this one all the way. I think this is going to be a breakout game for Dak. He's going to do great. And I'm going to say the score is this. I'm just spitballing, but I feel this score, and I feel this is going to be. If you have Dez Bryant on your fantasy team, you're going to play him. This score is going to be 41. Can you get to 41? Let me rethink this. Okay.
I think you get to any number.
I think you can. Should you get there? All right, hang on. Let me see. 28, 37, 46, right? 28. Oh, no, 7. Let's go by 7. Jeez.
Oh, you're doing divisible by 7?
Yeah.
42 and 49?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. 42. Okay. So the score, and I'm going to go with it, it's going to be 42-3.
To 3?
They're going to just take it to the house. And I mean, this score, 42-3, is going to be by the 3rd quarter.
Oh, wow.
I don't even see a 4th quarter. It's just going to be like
garbage.
Garbage time. The Cowboys will just be running it, eating away the clock and punting. It's almost going to be like, why am I even watching this anymore? That's how bad they're going to get destroyed.
All right, so we're going to be to Monday night now, Atlanta at New Orleans.
You know what? This is a division game, and I'm going to go with the Saints. They're 0-2. They're not going to start 0-3. They're too good of a team to start 0-3. I am going to say the Saints. Now, this is going to be a close game, though. I'm going to go on a limb. It's going to be 17-14.
Well, I revealed because I accidentally put T.
It's all good.
So people already know that I was going to go with New Orleans. And I agree with you. Drew Brees is too good of a quarterback to let his team go 0-3. And I don't think they're one of the best 0-2 teams right now. So, Atlanta, they're not bad. They showed that, even though Oakland was a terrible performance defensively, but they did show some offensive firepower there. So, this will be a close game. I think it'll be more of a shootout. I'm going to go with New Orleans 31, Atlanta 21.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, that's what you get this week from Basement Bar Talk, as Tyler and I discuss our picks, and I will be crushing him. You know it. I will be crushing him.
I'm warming up now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next week, enjoy your Sunday football, Monday football, and Thursday night football.
And we're awesome.